you spent the last 4 years as an assistant here.
Correct.
And now you're the head guy. So what can you use from the experience of being an assistant to kind of help you as the head coach now?
Yeah, you know, the luxury of being here the last 4 years is really beneficial because I know the kids and they know me. Also, you know, I understand maybe what's held us back in the past and also what's worked. You know, something that we're really trying to hit hard on is just the attitude. You know, the attitude in the past has been sketchy. When things are going good, you know, things are great. And then when bad things happen, you know, a lot of people decide that they're going to jump ship. And we tell our kids that expect, you know, bad things to happen. And we've really kind of geared a lot of the off-season stuff towards that, you know, trying to improve the attitude. And I think that is probably one of the biggest areas in which we can improve.
Yeah, I think that's maybe been the biggest thing consistent over the last few years. How do you change that attitude? How do you get the kids to buy in that you guys can compete with Snyder and Lures and everybody?
Right. Well, yeah, we tell our kids, again, you know, it's not a talent thing. You know, you compare our kids when they come in as freshmen and you compare kids from Snyder or Dwayne or Lures or wherever. They're very similar, okay? So what they do in those 4 years depends largely on their ability to work together, respect one another, and care for one another, and then also constantly doing their best, you know, giving their best effort. And then, like I talked about, also the attitude. So, you know, we really stress 3 things, and it doesn't have to do with talent or skill or anything like that. You know, it's care for one another, respect one another, be a good teammate, do your best, and then possess a positive attitude. And, you know, at this school with our size, we should be able to, if we do a good job on those things, we should be able to compete.
So you played for your dad over at Concordia.
Yeah.
What would you say you learned from that standpoint?
Right. You know, a lot of the things that I just talked about, you know, those 3 things we focus on is what he focused on in terms of his coaching thing. You know, and one of the things, and I learned this from my 2 uncles as well, probably, you know, with high school sports, you know, the biggest thing is we're teaching, you know, life lessons through the sport of football. And they really understood that. My dad understood that. My uncles understood that. A lot of the area coaches get that. And that's what's pretty cool about what we have in this area. And you know, it's not always about wins and losses. We have got to, you know, teach those lessons. And football is the avenue to do that. And that's kind of what I think I take most from my dad and my uncles. They really understood that and they got that.
And it's no secret that you like to throw the ball around while you played there. And so are you going to try and maybe implement some of that run and gun type of offense here? Is that your goal?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, our goal is always to run the football more than throwing the football. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, but we really, really try to make it a point to run the ball early in the game and run it effectively. But we have, and you'll see it later in the summer and into the season, we have really kind of the strength of our team is our receiving core. We have 2, you know, 6'6" guys, and we also have some very shifty guys that can catch the ball, and we got 2 guys that can really sling it. So, you know, I'm sure that will be a big part of the offense.
Yeah, it always helps when you have somebody who can get it to them, right?
Right.
So I mean, it's no secret, too, in high school football, you either have a really good running back or a really good quarterback.
Right.
So do you have a sense of what your strength is going to be this year?
Yeah, you know, our skill guys are really talented. We lost graduated 4 offensive linemen, so that's a big area of concern. And also, we lost some guys up on our defensive front. So, you know, we struggle in terms of right now, you know, it's early in the summer, finding some size, you know, plug up some holes and to move people around. But our strength of a team right now is probably our skill guys. They've worked very, very hard in the off season. They're very talented. And, you know, to be honest with you, you know, I'd take them, you know, up against a lot of the teams or skill guys around the city.
How much of what you're doing right now with all the guys, I don't know if it's typical of the amount of guys who are out here, if it's more,
right?
Is that, can you give me an indication?
Yeah, well, we're right around usually between 85 and 100, which includes freshmen. We really like it to be about at least 30 per class. You know, our senior class is rather thin. So eventually, you know, we'd like to be up a little bit higher, but as of right now, you know, we're happy with the numbers. You know, the big thing we've talked about also is just commitment. You know, if you're going to do it, you know, do it right, do it to the best of your ability. We don't want any part-time guys. You know, we're not going to accept part-time guys. And, you know, this is summer. It's not mandatory. We can't make it mandatory. But, you know, it's important to be here. And we're really stressing that to our kids, and they've responded pretty well.
Is this a big part of some of your goals there of, you know, being a good teammate? You know, this is all about camaraderie and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, you know, in the summer, you know, and the game has changed a lot since I played, not that long ago, 10 years ago or so. But a lot of the things, you know, a lot of schools install in the summer. You know, we never did that. It was all conditioning. And we're starting to incorporate a little bit of that stuff too. And I think it's good, you know. There are, you know, new regulations, as I'm sure you've heard about, but, you know, we're not pounding each other or anything like that. We're trying to put a little stuff here and there, but the focus right now is on strength and conditioning.
Okay. So, safe to say you're excited about this role?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, and my dad and my uncle has told me this also. You know, you never prepared for your first head coaching job, and you know, as much as you think you're ready, you're not. There's things that you know, come up day in and day out that you'd never think of. And you know, luckily with here at Northrop, we got a good support staff, and that helps a lot. And we have great assistant coaches and great coaching staff, and they're doing a great job in getting this thing rolling.
You feel any pressure?
Not yet. I'm sure it'll come. You know, but that goes back to, you know, what we talked about. If we can achieve those 3 goals that I mentioned, you know, we've done a good job. The rest, with our skill level and talent and the size of our school, the rest should take care of itself. So.
All right, I think that pretty much covers it. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. I guess I didn't really ask you that. Is there anything that you saw from last year, maybe the last 4 years, that you really want to improve on for this year?
Yeah, you know, I think the big thing is just the commitment level and the dedication. You know, like we talked about, you know, you're either in or you're out. You know, we're not making anybody come out here and play football. It's a choice. It's the decision that they make. But if they make the decision to play football, they're all in, you know, and they got to understand that. It's not, oh, I had to work, or I had to do this, or I had to do that. You know, you had practice. You know, that's important that you're there. You know, you can't come and go as you wish. And I think that's the big thing that we're really trying to focus on going forward.
Okay. Can you give me the names of the 2 tall wide receivers you talked about?
Yeah. They're both seniors. One is Nigel Kilby, and the other is Aaron Thomas.
And then your 2 quarterbacks you were talking about?
Michael Snyder is a junior, and Garrett Shanley is a sophomore.